Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of We Listen and We Judge.
Hi, welcome back.
So today we're going to be discussing the differences between role models, mentorships, and how we feel about them. It was coming from another conversation we had previously about, being a model and how we feel about it. So I'll let Mom go into it a little bit.
Okay. When we were talking, I was just saying I don't want to be anybody's benchmark, but I don't mind being a role model. And I take that responsibility very seriously. What I put out on social media and the internet is very important because I know there's people watching. I know there's others who look at some things that I do and say, hey, I want to do that too. What I really would love, though, is for them to reach out and let's talk about some of those things because I was looking at the difference between a role model and a mentor. A role model is somebody you admire and you observe, and sometimes it's from afar, whereas a mentor is somebody that you create a close personal relationship with and you work with them in order to have personal or personal and professional
Yeah.
growth.
And that's what I was saying because I know there's a difference between a role model and mentor, and I don't really care. For the role model aspect, I believe like when you have a role model, it really should be your parents, your grandparents, somebody in your family, because then you know everything about them. And even then you don't know everything. They hide things, they have their own lives, and you don't know every aspect of their life. But with role model, it to me it should never be somebody that you don't have like a really close relationship with, and I really honestly don't even really care too much for the term. Like I look at my parents, you and dad, as role models or how I want to, establish a career and then grow, investments and getting property and possibly, sharing a life with somebody. But as far as like people I don't know or outside of family, I don't necessarily have role models.
Yeah. A role model can be a mentor, but not necessarily the other way around.
Mhm.
And I prefer if your role model is your mentor.
Mhm.
I would love it if people would reach out to those who they see as a role model and have real, genuine conversations with them. Don't
Mhm.
just use the internet or what you see from afar to try to characterize who that person is and what they're about because you might misjudge
Mhm.
very easily.
Yeah.
And I know the title of our show is "We Listen and We Judge," but that's not really what the show is about. It's more about listening to one another and talking through our ideas about things. And this came up, role model versus mentor, when Brandy and I was talking, and we're just sharing our conversations with you all. And you might have some ideas about role model versus mentor. The one thing we do caution ourselves and others against is idolization. You don't want to have a role model where they become like an idol in your life.
Well, I think no one should do that because,
Right.
again, you don't know everything about a person, even those that you're family with or close friends with. For me, I've always sought out mentors when I go into a new career or go into a new business or go to a new company. Like currently I have a mentor and he helps me adjust to working at my company, telling me what it is and what it isn't and kind of giving me ideas about what I should do in my position and things he's been through. And I don't know him like, on a personal level, so I can't say that I, want to be just like him when I grow up, but as far as his career, as far as my career, he does have, stronger sense of the company values, and he's been there a little bit longer, and he's worked in the HR realm longer too, so he is a great mentor for me as I'm still younger in the HR world as well.
Right. And personal and professional mentorship is very important.
Mhm.
And I think the more we get into social media, we've kind of gotten away from the face to face, sit down conversations, talking to one another, going out to brunch, just those close relationships that's formed from seeing people eye to eye. And I value and treasure time that I get to spend with others, sitting down face to face, having conversation, talking about our ideas about things and pitfalls, things that, I would say to especially a younger woman saying to her, listen, here's some things that I did that I would tell you, you might want to steer away from. Here's some things that I did that was very successful. You might want to try. What are your thoughts and ideas? Let's talk about ways to navigate those. ways that I've navigated them myself, things that, and just being real and honest and saying, hey, I messed up with that and I wouldn't try that again. Just being real honest about my walk and my step, especially when it comes to my professional walk, my personal walk, and for sure my walk with Christ.
Well, I feel like a lot of times people don't know when they need to seek out mentorship. And also nowadays, when it comes to social media, they have like professional coaches, life coaches, where people are paid to help you move along to the next aspect of your life. I don't think you necessarily have to get a paid coach. Sometimes you might need it, and also your job can offer it through your EAP. But at the same time, I do realize like if you grew up and your family didn't really do well in life, or they might have not really had careers, they kind of were down on their luck, it would be probably more for you to look at certain people at role models, I guess, like, you seek to be at the next level, so you don't really have anybody that you know that's been there, so you might seek out role models, you might seek out mentorships. I know personally, like, I was mentoring somebody when I was in Jacksonville. I don't necessarily think, like, I would be considered her role model, and that was my take on it. I don't want to be looked at as a role model. I don't want you to look at me and say, well, I want to be just like her because you don't really know me. And also believe in what's for me is for me and what's for you is for you. So you might be going to the next level on something totally different than what I'm going to go after. So you can't really mirror what I'm doing for what you want to do.
I think there's levels
And
though. I could think about little young girls who
mm-hmm,
look at, their teachers
mm-hmm,
or adults that work around them in the school, and they say, "Hey, I wanna be like so and so," because there's some observable behaviors that they would want to mimic, and some of those observable behaviors are great behaviors. So, I would say there's levels to it. I just feel like it shouldn't be the point to idolization or you using that person as a benchmark for your life. I don't feel like you should benchmark your life against somebody else's because comparison is really the thief of joy.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't know, like, I guess when I was growing up, I didn't think like, "Oh, I wanna be like a teacher or something like that." Like, I used to see, like, you see a famous singer, you wanna be like a famous pop star, you wanna be like a famous actress,
But I ain't gonna let
but
you I'm not gonna let you do that now, 'cause there's several people in education who are there because they there was a teacher who was a role model for them,
yeah,
and they
that's
say,
true.
"I became a teacher because of
Mhm.
the way this teacher treated us. I wanted to be a teacher." So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that,
No,
and I
I'm
think
just
there's
saying
several
I can't personally see it, like, I never saw
Well,
it that
girl, it
way.
happens. It
I'm
happens.
not saying it didn't, I'm just saying I never saw it that way, like, when I was growing up, it was more so like, "Oh, we wanna be like this singer," and then, "Oh, girl, we can't sing, so we can't be like this singer." We wanna be like this actress, but, "Oh, we can't act," and then you realize, okay, like, why are we trying to be like these people? We don't know them, and I also feel like social media does the opposite of showing, like, people's real mentalities, how they really live their life. It's not always positive. A lot of times you see these people are living pillar to post, don't do well with their money, they're getting on drugs, they're having hardships just like you. So then you realize, okay, these people are human because we can get too
Right.
stuck into the
Sure.
like glitz and the glam. Oh, they're rich, they're fabulous, they're doing things that I've never done. So yeah, I want to look at them as the next level, but then you realize they're humans. And a lot of times people who are famous and rich, they'll tell you that so many people depend on them to live and survive. Like they're taking care of their whole families. And that's where I'm just like, okay, I definitely don't want that type of life. And it's not to say like I have to find something negative, but it's just like your life is yours to live. So that's where I'm at with it. Like I definitely agree with the mentorships part. Like you find a mentor when you get, especially when you get to a new role or you get to a new company, you find somebody that can help you that you can lean on. But more so with personal life, I just feel like outside of maybe talking to a therapist, talking to your friends, you have to find your way on your own too. You don't want to lean too much on, oh, let me get this person's advice or let me see what they did. Like, because what they do doesn't necessarily going to be positive for your life too. So it's just a different mindset that I have about it.
Yeah. I do think though, observable behaviors can turn into a mentorship
Mhm.
when you see things from a person that you want to have in your space. I feel like once you see those things, you reach out to that person and actually get to know them. And that's what I was really saying when we were having that conversation is I would like to get to know a person who is looking at me saying, "Hey, I wanna learn how to do that,"
Mhm.
but never talk to me. That's what I was saying. I would love for them to reach out, talk to me, let's talk about it, and let's see how I can help you, and my advice might not be the best advice, but if you're looking
Yeah.
at me, I would be honest with you, and I would tell you exactly how I love talking to, my proteges, I guess I would call them, because they're so open and they're so honest, and sometimes the way I went about it is absolutely wrong for them. And I'll tell them that. And
Mhm.
we laugh about it and we have a good conversation. I'm thinking of one that I talk to quite often right now. I don't know if she's watching, but she is the sweetest soul. And she has so many aspirations. And I love hearing, the things she wants to do. And how she wants to grow in the profession. And so just sitting down, talking face to face with her and us, just brainstorming and thinking through things and
Mhm.
pitfalls to avoid and, "Hey, don't do that, girl," and we laugh about it. I love that type of relationship.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it may have started as a role model, an observable behavior, and then she reached out and she comes to my office and we really got to know each other, and now she's one of my favorite people. So just getting the opportunity to sit down face to face and really getting to know someone is what I was really talking about,
Yeah.
that turning into a real mentorship.
But honestly, I can see also the opposite of it. Like people probably don't want to do that because they don't necessarily need a role model or mentorship. They just, might be curious about something. Like, yeah, that's another side of it too. Like everybody doesn't want to like develop personal relationships. They just might have a question that needs to be answered.
And that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
alright with,
yeah.
an email saying, "Hey, can you," and I get those all the time, like,
Mhm.
"What do you think about this particular? I wanna go back to school. What's
Mhm.
your thoughts about this particular university?" Or,
Mhm.
"Where do you see my career going? What's your thoughts on that?" And I'm honored that, someone would care what I think about
Yeah.
it. But there again, that like you said, it doesn't have to turn into anything but an email conversation back and forth,
Yeah.
and I like those as well.
And I can only say that because that's basically like, what I do every day. Like somebody's asking you about, well, what should I do about this? What should I do
Oh, for
about
sure.
that? Like,
Yeah, that's all the
so
time.
that's why I don't think it like I don't think I'm anybody's role model or mentor when they're reaching out for help. Even if they're asking me like, I might want to go back to school and what was your
For
degree?
sure.
And then I just give them like, hey, well, this is why I did this, and it can help you get into this realm. It's just all about how you market yourself. Like, honestly.
Which that's way different from what I was talking about.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like, why people might not necessarily reach out. Like, they just don't want to have that. They just might have a simple question and
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's it. So,
Which there again, like I said, that's really not what I was talking about. I'm talking about those people who are observing from afar and just benchmarking, like, if she did this, then for sure I'm gonna have to do this. And it really, I don't know. I'm not saying it's even idolization at this point. I'm
mhm,
just saying it's comparison. And I don't know. I just say don't use what you see on social media to
mhm.
think you have to be at a certain spot or in a certain place.
Or even like in real life too, because I
Yeah.
think people do that. Like, I think a lot of times growing up, they're like, "Well, my kid needs to have good grades too, and my kid need to." And I agree with some of that from outside looking in. Like people do need to educate themselves and try to strive the most when they're at school because it's harder when you get into adulthood to turn it around, if that makes sense. But then, like, I don't think they should use other people's children to motivate them to do that. Like, "Oh, Brandy got all A's, why you can't get all A's?" I think that creates toxicity in my opinion. So that's where I can see what you're saying too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when people just pit others against each other. And then some people do it in their own friend groups or against their own family instead of just living their life and figuring out what they want to do. So I guess that's where you're going with that conversation.
It kinda was where I was going with that conversation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't mind being a role model,
Mhm.
and I love being a mentor,
Mhm.
but I don't wanna be idolized, and I
Mhm.
don't want anybody watching my social media page, first of all, because it's not popping. It doesn't do a whole lot except for
Mhm.
congratulations, happy birthday, proud of you for doing I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't do a whole lot. So you really will never know me from social media.
I don't know. I don't think about it. Like, is somebody watching it? Maybe, maybe not. If they are, like, that's on them. But I guess I don't really think about it. Like, I don't post something and be like, well, I wonder who's gonna look at it. Like,
No, I'm just saying you can't get a whole lot of who I am from that.
mm-hmm,
You won't you won't get a whole lot from that.
mm-hmm,
You'll have to get it from me.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that too. I think the only people that you can really figure out through social media is probably like those that stream all day and they show you every aspect of their life, are the ones that do like to get ready with me. Like those are the only people that you can actually kind of see, you know, what their life is like. But at the same time, I don't think they even share everything. And a lot of kids want to be like, the streamers Kai and
And there you go. That's
DDG.
my point. A lot of
Uh-huh.
people choose role model
Mhm.
or looking at observable behaviors from social media,
Mhm.
which is my point. You can't get to who
Mhm.
people really are from social media. And if
Mhm.
you're choosing that because that's the way you want to go, then I think mentorships and getting to know
Mhm.
someone is the way to go.
Mhm.
If you're looking at an observable behavior and you want to go deeper and you want to grow and learn and get knowledge from someone.
But really the observable behavior in that is money. Like, they're seeing how rich they're getting from streaming their life and, you know, they can get these Lamborghinis and they can hang out with Kevin Hart and they can be like the
Depends on who
most
you're watching.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Most popular person in the world. So now all the kids want to be streamers and YouTubers. Like they don't want to be doctors anymore. They don't want to be liars anymore when they could just make a lot of money from streaming on YouTube. So I guess we are saying the same things just in different ways,
Except
huh?
for I don't know a whole lot about that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a new age thing. I guess kinda like, okay, how we doing the podcast, right? And we're talking and we having conversations about our real life, but we're going, and living our life and not necessarily streaming it and showing every aspect. Like, I'm not posting every single thing I do at my house, but with the streamers, they kinda do. So they'll sit around and they'll just show everything they're doing, everybody that comes by and has conversations with them, cooking, like, going
I'm
outside.
exhausted
Yeah,
listening. It's
yeah,
okay.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
it is because it's like it doesn't necessarily give you any privacy in your life,
Right.
and you have to keep giving and giving, and people are still expecting more and more. So I can see where it can get really exhausting, but they make so much money because people want to watch them live life. Yeah. So I
Kinda
mean,
like reality TV.
no, I don't know
No?
because even with reality TV, you only get a little bit and it's produced and this thing is cut out and they're only showing you group settings or a little bit of their family. But we don't know what they do when the cameras are off. With the streamers, the cameras are never off. There's not any editing. If mess up a scene, you can't redo it. If something happens and you don't want it shown, you gotta just hurry up and turn the camera off.
Oh.
So that's what is the difference between yeah.
Okay.
So here we just talk about like different topics and we might give a little bit of advice from what we experienced, but with a streamer is literally showing everything about their life from top to bottom.
Mm,
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah. I I didn't know you didn't know anything about that.
I don't watch streamers.
Yeah, I don't watch it either, but I'm aware of them because, like, they will post clips on social media, and then, like I said, a lot of kids nowadays, like, they will, wanna be the streamer. Like,
Oh.
when the Wigglets come, ask them, like, "Who is Kai and who is DDG?" And they'll know exactly who
I've heard of
okay.
DDG because he
Yeah.
dated the singer.
Hell yeah.
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 Okay.
But he got known for being a streamer, and he became a millionaire from being a streamer and streaming his life.
Mm.
Yeah. So I guess it's like a male socialite in a way, cause But that's even a little bit of a difference because even with the women's socialite, you just really look at pictures and you see a little glimpse of them going to dinner and vacationing, but you don't know what they do when the cameras are off. Like with the streamers, the cameras are never really off.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else about mentorship and role models?
I will say, for those of you who have figured some things out, be a mentor to young men and women
Mm-hmm.
who are open. Don't force yourself because the Bible even tell us they won't hear you shake the dust off your feet. But if you if you see someone who is looking for assistance, advice, growth, learning,
Mm-hmm.
consider being a mentor. Even if you start off as a role model for that person and they reach out and want deeper conversation and assistance, then I think mentorship,
Well,
especially in our communities, and I thought about somewhere we went a few months ago was some type of business meeting where there's some Black businesses in Bullock County or in surrounding counties as well.
mhm.
And I think about how great that opportunity was to hear the panel and learn from others. Opportunities like that, I think, are always good. Share your knowledge and helping people
Yeah, networking events.
network in events. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like networking is a good way to mentor
Mm-hmm.
and even be a role model, because once the networking period time is over, of course, everybody go back to their everyday lives until it's time to come back again. So that's kinda you can get some role models from networking.
I think it's good when it's genuine though. A lot of people use it to boost their ego and then they're not really trying to even let other people in. Like I've been to events where I felt very, welcomed and everybody was really trying to reach a goal and everybody was really mixing and mingle. But then also been to events where there's a lot of gatekeeping and just people telling you like, well, this is how great I am and maybe you'll get there, maybe you
Yeah.
won't. And that's not positive. And really, they're just trying to get money too a lot of times, like pay $100 to come hear me talk about myself,
Oh, wow.
but not really give advice besides, you know, there's 24 hours in a day and work hard and save money or don't save money, invest money more than you save. They give like the generalizations. They don't actually try to tell you like, hey, well, these people are open to investing. Check them out. Or hey, this is the business vendors I use. They have good price points. They're not really trying to give you their real trade secrets. They're trying to show you like I'm great and I'm this and I'm that.
I've not experienced that.
Mhm. I think it's more of a bigger city thing too, though.
Okay.
I feel like being in a smaller town, like, people really genuinely can network and pull together, but sometimes in bigger cities, like, it's just a flex competition.
And sometimes it's just good to even hear somebody's journey,
Mhm,
even if I even if there's not a whole lot of depth of what next is
mhm,
shared, just how they got there even
mhm,
is sometimes good to hear. I like hearing stories about someone's personal growth and the things that they've gone through to get to where they are.
mhm.
I'm a cheerleader. It's very silent sometimes, but I just love to see people win. And so those types of events where you could even hear somebody's journey, where they started and where they are now, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm trying to do in life. Like, I don't necessarily need to hear everybody's story.
Well,
I
I ain't
hate to
saying
be
everybody's story, but
cynical
I'm just saying
about it, but
if you go to an event and you get to hear about somebody's journey, I'm just like, hey, that's exciting to me. Well,
mhm,
maybe it's the teacher in me. That's I just I just
mhm.
always like, especially my former students too, just to see where they are. Like I love to hear about what they're doing and if they have kids and what their kids are doing. Like I love that kind of stuff.
Well,
So
yeah, I do like to see people and their success too, but I also think like it has to be realistic and it has to be the whole story. Like a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, you'll never be Bill Gates." Well, yes, because Bill Gates' parents was millionaires. He had a leg up. Like nobody wants to talk about that part. Like a lot of people will use him as, I guess, what you say, a benchmark. But both of his parents had millions of dollars to invest in his product. And that's what I'm talking about, like, you have to also tell the full story. If you have generational wealth, you have a leg up. That's just what it is. and
I've not
people should know that.
I've not been in the room with
Mhm.
someone who has generational wealth. I've not experienced it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I've not experienced anybody telling me to look at Bill Gates as a marker. So,
Mhm. Well, we talked about it a lot in business schools. Everybody would
and
do,
you know,
like, case studies on,
we
like,
did case
Microsoft.
studies, but it's just class. I
Mhm.
just see I'm talking about just, genuine. Like I said, we physically went to a business networking meeting, and people were on the panel. There were 3 panels, maybe 3 or 4 panels, and everybody was talking about their journey, started from the bottom, now we're here, how we got there. I like that. It wasn't textbook. I've got a business degree. I mean, I know the cases and what we talked about in class, but I didn't take any of that seriously because I don't really know those people. And I think it goes back to what we were saying
Mhm.
about role models that you don't know. I
Well,
wouldn't say Bill Gates was a role model because
that's
I
why
don't
I
know him.
mean, like,
My definition is
when
a
you
lot
go to
different.
some of these events in, like, the bigger cities too, they'll bring up that, like, they'll talk about, like, "Oh, well, he was this, and that." It's just like, he had a great product, and we still use it to today, and we'll probably
Absolutely.
still use it for years on, but a lot of his product got pushed because he had the money to back it,
Right.
and that's what people need. A lot of times, if you're trying to get to the next level, you need money, you need investments. It's very hard to just come up with something out of nowhere and be a millionaire.
Right.
It's very rare. It doesn't really happen often. Even
Hmm.
some of the self-made millionaires still had an investment or
Yeah.
investors.
A big Bill Gates opportunity is not my testimony. I've not
Mhm,
I've not been to a live networking opportunity where he was used as like I said, textbook, yes, but
mhm,
not anywhere that I've been to a networking opportunity. So that's just not my testimony. So,
mhm,
so I don't see it from that standpoint because I've not experienced it from that standpoint.
yeah. I get what you're saying, but I also know, like, also with people who are, they're not gonna tell you the full story
Yeah.
a lot of
And
times.
I don't say success is always measured in money either.
Mhm,
I think sometimes success is measured in, are you healthy? Are you
mhm,
happy? Are your kids okay?
yeah.
You
Because
don't
that is success though.
Right. You don't have to have the big house and the fancy cars. I feel like if everybody is breathing and living and doing well, I feel like even that's success. Tell me what you're doing to get your health in order.
Mhm,
I love it. I love that for you. Now let me try it. I feel like even that, could be a mentorship type
mhm.
opportunity.
Like a, trainer?
You don't have to have a trainer. You can have somebody who you talk to on a regular basis who has figured out like the secret to their own health. And it may work for you and it may not, but if you know what they're doing, they might tell you and you can try it.
No, I'm just thinking
A
like
trainer costs money,
a
but I mean
trainer
you could get a trainer.
a trainer technically, I guess, is mentoring you on your health, but
I was
yeah.
saying things that don't cost money. A trainer
Okay.
is not free. I mean, you can get a trainer. I mean, I'm not opposed
Yeah,
to a trainer. Shouts out to all the trainers who out there doing great.
yeah. But I guess they are in a way like a what they call them is a fitness coach, and I guess I was talking about that a little bit earlier too, like, they have this new thing coaching people through, like, helping their life, coaching them through time management, so that's becoming a bigger thing too.
And yeah, with your health insurance, there's like nutrition coaches and
Mhm.
people who want to keep
Wellness
calling you and
coach.
talk to you on the phone. I don't want to talk to you. Stop calling me. But anyway, no, I'm just
But
kidding.
why you don't
But
wanna hear their story?
I
They're like,
don't
"Oh,
want to hear it. Like I'm usually busy when they're
that's what I'm
calling.
saying."
That's what I'm saying though. You set up those opportunities for things you want to know and do. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying just do it to be doing it. I'm saying do it for areas where you want to grow, things
Mhm.
you want to know about.
Yeah.
That's what I was
No,
saying.
I agree. I'm just joking. I actually push it a lot at work, like, especially when people, like, have a hard time coming to work, I push, like, "Okay, maybe you need to talk this through with somebody, help get help with time management." And we talk about, getting on our health journey. We'll get on Share Care, check out the wellness videos, find out, like,
Share
different.
care. Those are the people
Yeah.
who call in. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They call you?
Yeah. The share care people, they got coaches and they want to talk wellness coaches. They want to talk to you.
I've
Yeah.
never got a call from them.
Yeah.
I use ShareCare all the time. Well, I don't click on the videos as often either, though. I just go in there, like, sometimes, like, I went on there recently to find a doctor, in the Brunswick area, and then I go in there to do the challenge that we're doing, like the step challenge, and track it. But I've never got a call from the ShareCare wellness coaches.
They
I
call
may need to
they
talk to
they
them though.
call to try to set up. like a time that they can call you daily, or some people have done it.
Mhm.
Um, I've not done it.
I might need to do that. You know what? Since we're trying to be more open, I'm gonna get me a wellness mentor, and I'll check back in with y'all within 2 months and let you know how it's going.
This went way left, I think. Or, or maybe it did. I don't know where
No,
we
we
were.
came full circle.
I'm
So
trying to figure out where we going with this. I can't even remember how this conversation began.
I'm getting a wellness mentor.
Okay, then.
Yeah, so we ended on a good note. Well, I was also gonna ask you, do you have any current mentors that you go to?
Um, my mom
Mhm.
and
Oh,
dad.
exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, my mom and dad are mentors.
Mhm.
I learned a lot from them. I'm trying to think. I have I have several people that I talk to about different things,
Mhm.
but I serve more as a mentor, but my parents are great mentors.
Yeah. Well, the time that I did do mentorship, I don't really think I was good at it because I'm a little too self-centered to be somebody's mentor.
I think that's why me and you going back and forth about this then.
Mhm.
At least you're honest.
Mhm. I told you, yeah, like, I mean, we have a different opinion
We
about it,
do.
but, like, I do use mentorship, like, at
Uh,
work, but, like, for personal use, it's just, like, I don't really wanna hear too much about a lot of things sometimes, like, I
Now
already
you're
have
right about
something
that
thought.
because that's why we be going back and forth a lot too, is because
Mhm.
you already have your ideas about.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
think, like, with me, people need to learn, like, don't try to tell me anything if I didn't ask, but I will ask
I
when
have learned over the
I will
years.
ask when I need to and when I feel like I need help, but if I don't wanna hear it.
And I'd be like, yeah, she'll call me when it go exactly how I said it would.
Yeah, I mean, you've been right about things, I will say that, but I do come to you when I need to, I just don't
Absolutely.
need you to come to me when I don't want you
And
to.
listen, I learned. I listened and I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what we're listening to now. So
Okay.
you can go first.
Um, well, I in the last episode, I talked about that Allen Iverson
Mhm.
series. I just want to remind you to check that series out
Yeah.
on Prime. Two, I think it's three. I should know by now how
Yeah.
many. We're only on two, but anyway, I think it's three parts to it.
Okay. And what I'm actually just finished was the starting five. And I think it's just interesting since we're talking about role models because a lot of men look up to the NBA players. Like they are the Hollywood of basketball, well, Hollywood of sports, in my opinion, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, bling bling. And so this season is Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Halliburton, Shai Alexander, and James Harden. I thought that it was really good. First season was great too, but I did prefer, season two because Kevin Durant is one of my favorite. And when you talk about role models, I think like he kind of touched on that a little bit because they always come at him about being the leader in the locker room. And he made a good point, like, we all grown men making millions of dollars. Why do I have to lead other grown men, like, who play professional basketball? Like, I get what he's saying. There is always that one person that stands out and can get everybody together and bring camaraderie to the group and, you know, get people in line. And I actually feel like SGA is the perfect leader because even though he's really young, all of his team kinda looks at him as that guy. But with Kevin Durant, I can also see that, like, I don't feel like you should make somebody be something they don't wanna be. He is a great hooper, he's gonna put up numbers every time, but he doesn't have to lead other grown men, as he said. So that's why I also get that part too. Like, I feel like if people want a leader, they gotta find somebody who wants to lead, if that makes sense.
I don't disagree.
Mhm. So I watched that and it was a great series. I felt really bad for Halliburton. He actually turned out being one of my favorite people after watching it. He has a really great personality. Everybody was saying his girlfriend was annoying, but I thought it was actually cute, so maybe something's wrong with me.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll try to check it out.
Yeah, you should.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Starting Five. Did you
Starting
watch
Five.
season one with LeBron?
Think I don't think so.
Yeah, so you should start off with season one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go to season two.
Okay.
And then are you listening to any music or any ebooks?
No ebooks.
Mm-hmm.
Music wise, not really.
Okay.
I hadn't. been listening to anything lately.
Okay. So right now on my walk, I had listened to Folks by Leon Thomas, and it's a really good EP. He just actually dropped the album Mutt too. That was awesome. Like I have like favorite songs on this, but the real reason like I love his music is he's like not really traditional R&B, if that makes sense, but it's still like that real rhythm and blues. And a lot of his music is pulling from like disco, punk, funk, blues, rock and roll. You can hear it in all the beats and the notes that he used. Like, and I really just was like, okay, this is a great EP. He did his thing again. So I think people should check him out. Like, he's one of my favorite R&B artists right now.
Okay.
Him, Coco Jones, Ari Lennox. Like, I'm always gonna love their music because they put a lot into it and they use a lot of influence from like older artists and not just R&B, but they do a mix of genres too.
Okay.
Alright, so
Judge, we got a judge.
yeah, we do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a
dang.
question. I had a travel question.
Okay.
Yes, going back to episode 4, Travel Talk.
Yeah.
The question was that's where we get all our questions from.
Okay.
The last time we had a question, it was about
Yeah,
Puerto Rico.
somebody asked me about Puerto Rico.
This particular question was about packing because I think I mentioned on the travel talk about not checking bags.
Mhm.
And someone is about to take a trip and they wanted to know how do they go about not checking a bag. So just going back to that, how many days are you going to be gone and how many outfit changes do you have to have? When I pack, there is a daily outfit for the daytime, and then there's a nighttime outfit for the nighttime. At least 3 pair of shoes, maybe, and some flip flops for the beach. So maybe 8 outfits, some bedclothes, your underwear, and things like that. And then your toiletries in a little clear bag. So with that being said, if you have about 8 outfits, a few pair of shoes, you should be able to do the regulation carry-on size and a backpack for your personal item. And that should take care of all of your outfits, provided you're gone for about 4 or 5 days. Anything past that, you might want to consider
You
checking.
if you fold your clothes like you work at like JCPenney, you know how they do the folding table or Polo or something like that, you can get like 10 to 12 outfits too.
And there's these things on Amazon that you could pack
Yeah, the
in
plastic
the
bag.
plastic bag
Yeah.
and it takes the air out of it
Mm.
and that makes it flat. So you could use that and you
Yeah.
can get about 10
Yeah.
outfits. And the little pump thing is small enough to
Mhm.
pack with you. A friend of mine at work bought one and she sent me the link. So I'm considering getting one.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would recommend that too, especially if you have a longer trip. Like,
absolutely.
just go ahead and get those. Or even use the Shein bags if you shop at Shein. Yeah, those are kind of the similar. Just flatten the air out, and you can get a couple of outfits in there too. But I am a fan of checking bags, especially if you want to have perfumes, makeup, and liquids.
I am not a fan.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Well,
checking. I
that.
just,
Oh, what?
it's just a fear of my luggage getting lost. I don't know.
Yeah, it did happen to me one time, but that was my fault for trying to get on that, standby. The lady was trying to do what she could, and I appreciate that. I had a little drama going to St. Lucia.
I'm gonna call it luggage lossophobia is what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a real phobia about that. Like
It
losing
could be.
losing packages probably is a real phobia though.
Thank you for your question. We finally got another judge.
Yeah,
Yay.
hopefully you have a good trip. And where's the person going?
They are going to Jamaica.
Is it their first time?
No. No, yes it is. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, so check out
Sorry.
Martha Bray as well. They have like you have the river boat thing that you can go in, and it looks a little scary because it's basically like a little bamboo thing, and they stand on it and paddle, but it's really cool. And then they have a couple of like shacks around that give you like real authentic jerk
Jerk
chicken.
chicken is the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so go ahead. I know some people like plantain and they also like the patties, the beef patties. No, I don't eat
I
beef,
didn't like them.
but the chicken patties are pretty good to me too.
And you gotta climb the falls.
Yeah, Dunn's River
Don's River
Fall.
Falls.
Yeah, that's really fun. If you have a group of people, you can probably get a catamaran ride too. That's what we did for grandpa's birthday, and it was like 120 per person in US dollars, but they also feed you, and then they take you to the Dunn's River Fall and just snorkel if you want to. They have drinks on the boat, and they do the dancing thing, and it can be like a private thing. They also have the ones where you can get with other people, and that's cheaper, but, check those out as well if
Hey,
you haven't planned excursions.
thank you for your question. We get excited when we get an opportunity to listen and
Judge,
judge.
but it really is just giving an opinion and advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you for tuning in today. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time when we listen and we judge.
Take care.